After Max Verstappen took yet another victory last time out in Las Vegas, Formula 1 heads to more familiar territory this weekend for the final race of the season in Abu Dhabi. But what can you expect from this weekend's race, and when is the sessions taking place? Well, I'm Richard Smyth with Apex Motorsport, and here is your guide to the weekend. Let's start by taking a look at the circuit which the drivers will be racing on this weekend. The Yas Marina circuit became the first twilight race in Formula 1 when it made its debut on the calendar back in 2009. With a track length of 5.281 kilometers, the pit lane is one of the standout features, being unique as it features a tunnel. The drivers pass under the track before rejoining on the left hand side of turn 2. And there are two DRS zones in place, the first on the straight between turns 5 and 6, with the second coming between turns 8 and 9. Moving on to the driver standings, and Max Verstappen still remains on top after taking the title back in Qatar. The battle for second was what most people were keeping an eye on as the season headed towards its conclusion. But with a third place finish in Las Vegas, Sergio Perez will remain in P2 no matter where he finishes this weekend, leaving Lewis Hamilton in third. This is also the first 1-2 championship finish for the Red Bull team. Carlos Sainz and Fernando Alonso are also level on 200 points in the battle for fourth, while Lando Norris is only 5 points behind in 6th place. If all three of these drivers fail to score points, then Charles Leclerc could make a surprise leap from 7th to as high as 4th, being only 12 points adrift from his teammate Sainz and Fernando Alonso. In the constructor standings, Red Bull continue to extend their unassailable lead, with Mercedes and Ferrari separated by only 4 points going into the final race of the season. McLaren and Aston Martin still have to sort 4th place out, with McLaren having the advantage, but only 11 points separate the two teams. This weekend will also be the final race for AlphaTauri team principal Franz Tost, who's retiring after the checkered flag falls at the Yas Marina circuit. Not only will it be his final race, but it will also be the final race for Alfa Romeo for now, after they cut their partnership with Sauber. It's still unclear if the Italian car brand will stay in the sport with a different team, but a potential deal with Haas has been rumoured since the summer. Franz Tost's team AlphaTauri will also rebrand following this race, with Racing Bulls being the name expected to be adopted by the team. Red Bull have trademarked the Racing Bulls name, but no official confirmation has been made at the time of recording. Finally, there will be 10 rookie drivers taking part in FP1 this weekend as the teams finalise their mandatory rookie sessions here in Abu Dhabi. Red Bull will run Formula E World Champion Jack Dennis and Formula 2 driver Isaac Hadjar. Ferrari will run Robert Schwartzman, with Frederic Vesti taking over one of the Mercedes cars. McLaren will run IndyCar driver Pat O'Ward, with Jack Doohan, who's in Formula 2, stepping into one of the Alpines. Till Pocher, who is expected to be crowned Formula 2 champion this weekend, will drive for Alfa Romeo, while Felipe Drugovich will get some time behind the wheel of the Aston Martin. And finally, Formula 2's Oliver Bearman will take over one of the Haas cars, while Williams will run Formula 3 driver Zach O'Sullivan. But when the session's taking place, well, thankfully it won't be as confusing as last time out in Las Vegas. FP1 takes place on Friday at 1:30 PM local time, which is 9:30 AM in the UK. This is then followed by FP2 later in the day, 5 PM local time, 1 PM in the UK. Then we move on to Saturday, where FP3 kicks off the action at 2:30 PM local time, 10:30 AM in the UK. Qualifying follows a few hours later at 6 PM local time, which is 2 PM in the UK. And then on Sunday, we of course have the Grand Prix, which starts at 5 PM local time, which is a 1 PM start in the UK. So that's your guide to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which will bring down the curtain on a record-breaking season in Formula 1. Thanks for watching, and I hope you can join us in the next one. Goodbye.